task is a test, and you don't fucking rest till it's working or close as it gets. You tweak it, you break it, you build it again. That's the rhythm you're motherfucking living in. Shabby deal. When the pressure gets loose and the room feels electric, you know exactly what time it is. The one is the only Zeus, my goose. Zeus, my goose. All the motherfucking things you can do, all the wild fucking thoughts you produce, when you break out the cage and you burn through the fuse, you start thinking like Zeus. Zeus, my goose. Tell your friends you better start thinking like Zeus. Zeus, my goose. Zeus. Zeus, my goose. Zeus. Zeus. Zeus, my goose. Zeus. Zeus. Zeus, my goose. Zeus. Woo, my goose. Zeus, my goose. Zeus, Zeus, my goose. Zeus. Zeus, 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 my goose. Zeus, my goose. Zeus, my goose. Zeus, my goose. Zeus, my goose.
Every task is a test.
Never. Zeus, McCool. Every task is a task. And you don't really rest. Until it's working. Or as close as it gets. That edge that you walk. That way that you talk. It must be one thing that it's time for Zeus, McCool. That personal word that you quietly choose. That's thinking like Zeus. Hey. Oh, the things you can do, and the thoughts you produce, all the laughs you can make. Isn't this song over? For God's sake, when you think you like Zeus, when you think you like Zeus, now you think you like Zeus, when you think you like Zeus. Zeus, McCool.
Every task is a task, and you don't really rest until it's working, or as close as it gets. When you know things are getting loose, that's how you know it's time for the one and only Zeus, my goose. Zeus, my goose.
That's weird. That's really weird. I think I know what happened. And I don't think it's that important. That sound is rough on the ears. Not to mention, if you don't like the music is probably rough on the ears too. But what can you do? Except play it again later. And that's what I'll do. So, I am getting back to it. We are back here live and fresh. It is day 12. Not just technically, but fully. Oh god, there we go. Sorry. Okay. It's day 12. Day 12 of making a video game. This video game... Oh, that's what I was working on. Ooh. Forgot about that. Day 12 of working on a video game with the help of LLMs. And that's pretty much the big crutch right now. I forgot I was working on this, but let me... rail. Right. When I press 1, I will disappear and go mute, and I will forget. So I have to remember to not press 1 all the time. Dear Lord, that's a big one. Okay. Let me boot these up. It's been a little while. Before I talk to them, and Gemini I haven't talked to at all. Before I talk to them and get them set up, this poor ChatGPT is going to struggle here. Well, maybe it will struggle, yeah. I think we were here together. That would make sense. Okay, that's what I was exploring here. Okay, so I was trying to figure out ways that I was going to expand the game through the lore, through the hazards, and then have a better understanding of the animals that we find in the jungle biome. Now, the game is mostly rooted in this idea of being in a jungle biome. This is Zach Braff, who's the main character. Being in a jungle biome and being able to traverse, like go through the jungle and make your way out. So the game started with what looks like just a capsule, but it was a capsule collider like that. And it was the cylinder. The player would jump up and try to grab onto the rope. The rope right now is invisible here, but already? I gotta change this microphone one. That's better. So what we're gonna do is show you an example of a vine. That's I feel like I got burned, and that's my fault. I chose those words. And so I just got a little offended knowing that that's there, but not internalizing. Okay. Getting a little off track, but that threw me off. What up? Okay. I forgot I had that there. And I forgot of some of the things that I built, and I don't know if that's still working, but you can't see it now, but that is a collider for what would be considered an invisible vine. And I'm working on building this tower in which the player would end up... This would be like the tutorial, kind of, or like the start of the game. I guess it would be a tutorial. And as you can see, there's a big gap between that and the next platform up there. And the goal, as I continue to build it out, and it says, "What up, noob," up there. The goal will be to... I really do want to get rid of that. To continue to build out the tower circularly, like in a circular fashion where you can keep going up. And you get to the top and you kind of begin to explore the top of the canopy a little bit. And then you have an opportunity to jump back into the jungle, which would be the beginning of the first level, not necessarily the tutorial level. And I still have to plan a lot of that out. But that's a lot of what I did recently. So I have something of like a, what is it called? Something of a game Bible. Because this guy, Ocean Wave, came by the last stream and stopped by and asked me some questions and told me that he was working on a game Bible. Completely beyond me, but my best understanding so far is a game Bible is something that encapsulates the goal and the purpose of the game and keeps you on track for completing the game. So you don't end up overdeveloping or forgetting about certain aspects of it. Like, you stay in a very clean project, I guess. Which normally is not my MO, but considering the scale of a project like this and really wanting to be right about I mean, if I'm going to call it a AAA game, like one day, if I'm going to finish this in 5, 10, 15 years, whatever, I want it to be good. I want it to be cool looking. I want it to be of the stature. So when I read that, I decided maybe I should spend some time working on that. So what I did do was I developed the initial lore of the game and the concept of what the player's doing, what the player's goals are, and I've been working to refine those particular details as well. So, I can share. I think this will work. I believe this will work. Oh no, I don't want it here. Anywho, it's been a couple of days since I've been able to do this. There's been other stuff going on that I was trying to deal with and sort out, and I had to take some time away from here. Here we go. Can anything read this? Can we... Whoops. Cool. Okay, so this is the story. Hold on. I'm gonna have it spoken, dictated to us. Okay. So this is what I'm going to offer to Claude for some context, to help further build out the roadmap, I guess. All right. Do some of this, do some of this. We're going to say, hello. We are picking up again, and I have my initial story planned out. I would like to share it with you so you can help fill in the current roadmap gaps, and we can continue to keep track of the context of the project. I also am locking in an initial game Bible to provide you with, so we can fully determine the planning and staying on track. It will be reworked, I think, but over time. So I am more interested in utilizing the initial context of the story as I continue Wait, what are you doing? Wait, what are you doing? Double check response. That's so stupid. Initial context as I continue to develop the story and planning. It's redundant, but okay. So that's for Claude, and I'm going to have this read back to me, and hopefully it can be heard on the stream. No. No, I can't. I can't necessarily. Can we pause this? Okay. Okay, so we're going to review what Claude is saying, but we're also going to be sure to get this connected. So I just need to get desktop audio. Or I could just switch this to this. Because that's going to do me much better. Let's refresh the page. Cool. What the fuck? Okay. And it's going to spell everything out, apparently. It's kind of silly. It said, is an N-U-R-S-E, and I put things in caps so I could keep track of... what is what. Kind of like how you would do, like, a film. Like, easy call-out. So it's like, that's player. That's... You'll see. Grand deceivers and stuff. Okay. How am I going to do this? This is not complicated. This is just embarrassingly not complicated at all. We'll try that again. Hopefully that'll do it.
Untitled Jungle Nurse Game. Main character, story start. The player is a player, N-U-R-S-E, that is on their way with a group of doctors to a remote village. While their plane is flying over a dense jungle with a vast multi-biome landscape, an incident occurs that causes the plane to go down. Similar to Far Cry in the way that the player is coming in and out of consciousness as they, maybe the sole survivor, are being brought away from the crash by maybe some animals, but it isn't clear. The player sees a scene of a temple, cave, ruins, organic but monolithic, as they are being brought inside. Once inside, a council of various animals are conducting a chant in unison, offering what looks like spiritual energy to the player, bringing the player to a fully recovered status. The player awakes to the council, unified and awaiting to speak to the player. The council explains that the choice of the player to visit the village to provide aid and assistance was fate, but as such, so was the incident that caused their plane's demise. The council presents their preemptive plan to retrieve the player and others upon the crash, to which they explain their plan had minimal success. They are grateful for locating the player, and they explain that the village is still in desperate need of aid from that of a pure heart, heavily implying the player is indeed such a savior, hero. The player, in shock, explains they need to find their way back to civilization where they can seek proper help, to which the council reveals that the crash was more than meets the eye, and in fact their plane was thrust into an alternate dimension, reality, universal plane, very Planet of the Apes-esque, where the jungle is much larger and deeper of a location as seen from above, in that it may visibly occupy 500,000 square kilometers. For instance, it really occupies well over 5 times that. As the reality begins to set in for the player, they begin to question why they were chosen. I imagine this line of back and forth of questioning to the answers ends up being the character creator, and the council reveals that there is a need for such a warm, empathetic bipedal beast with a need to restore something of a hierarchy within their jungle to help face and combat the grand deceivers. Maybe it's learned over time to be a rival council that have threatened the village. The player is immediately
Spoilers.
reluctant to help, with the goal to get back to civilization as a priority over the desire of the council to restore
explained at the
order.
end what the
An argument is made
lead
that
up to the
despite
next
their
game would
reliance on
be.
the player because they are of a human species, there is such thing as a hierarchy. This will be a running theme, and the player will end up acting as a disruptor, as opposed to a savior. Would ultimately be disruptive. The Council lays claim that their ecosystem has been disrupted by unholy alliances, leading to a deconstructed society where those most vulnerable are regularly targeted by the Grand Deceivers. The player questions what makes them the right choice besides their species, and the Council informs them it is their inner nature, their instincts, and their heart that acts as the narrative that the jungle seeks. It is up to that particular player to fill the void. They also lightly touch on the concept that they really needed anyone off the plane, but they were limited to the player for now. The player asks how they may return to their home, and they are told by the council that the village holds a portal, passageway that has been hidden for a long time, and it may be that way because it has been overtaken by the Grand Deceivers. Despite their protests, the player knows that their new reality has been set, and they agree to work with the council to begin this journey. The player questions how they are even able to locate the village, where to start, and questions the dangers. The council quietly gesture to a shaman, who imbues the powers of the jungle wildlife upon the player. There is a mystical sequence, and then the player gains newfound abilities, such as a long jump and greater strength to swing on vines. The council proceeds to explain that if the player wants to begin their journey, they will need to head above the jungle canopy in order to begin planning where to head next within the journey. The player then begins to ascend from the mystical council base site, and proceeds up to the top of the tower. This ends up feeling similar to Assassin's Creed Eagle Vision. The player proceeds to a ledge of the canopy, and then jumps back into the jungle. Think Spider-Man dropping into the next level.
Okay, so I don't necessarily, I haven't told or like written that part out, right? Like what happens after, but within the game Bible, I'm planning basically the plot, right? Oh God, that's not good. I'm planning the plot of the game. So as I'm planning the plot of the game, I have a plan for how the game, I guess, quote, ends, and then with an epilogue that would lead into a sequel. And now that's overthinking, but if I'm going to make a full game, I do have the intent of it ending on a cliffhanger. Does that mean I'm going to make a second game? That would be so cool. Is there a guarantee I'm going to do that? That there's not. It depends on how much work goes into this, what happens with this, and if it's worth my time in the future to keep doing it. But the story planning wise, that's where I'm starting. And it follows a nurse, and the nurse is trying to get to the village that there was some crash that prevented it. It can talk to the animals. So now, I'm not going to say it's Dr. Dolittle, because it's not Dr. Dolittle. But it's kind of like a Dr. Dolittle-esque experience where he's protecting the animals. I mean, yeah, like him and Tarzan. Dr. Tarzan Little. Duzan. Dr. Duzan. Zach Braff became Dr. Duzan. Anyway. The plot is mostly about this jungle survival and protection kind of game. And I'm still working on the mechanics, and I have the story as it was just explained, because I basically just told it, hey, send this back so I can use your text-to-talk feature. But I developed the story, and I'm quite happy about it so far, and I do have to refine the game Bible. I also have to work on the game, but I've only been streaming for 30 minutes. I've only been streaming for like 20 minutes probably. And that's my second prompt. So let's go back into Unity, because that's kind of what's going on here. So initially the plan was going to do this. I was going to make this upward spiral escape plan, as the story said, where you would get to the top of the canopy, kind of do this explore, very much Spider-Man, very much Assassin's Creed, where you're looking around and you're panning and you're like, oh, this is the jungle now. And then you kind of drop and descend into like a flat area, just at like near the top of the canopy, and then you can do a big, what I was thinking, kind of like Assassin's Creed Eagle Drop, and that would be a thematic change into what would be the first level, and you have some real baddies and stuff. I don't think I'm going to initially have baddies in this tutorial spiral, tower thing, but I was planning on developing some hazards. So maybe things you would want to avoid, or like a concept, I don't want to do it right now, but it would be a vine that would be actually like a snake disguised as a vine. So when the player goes to grab on the snake, it bites them and they lose their grip or something. And maybe there will be a way for the player to counteract it and kind of like be like, bam, knock it out. And then like have a limited time before the snake kind of uncoils. I don't know. I'm speculating. There's possibilities, but the goal today is to do two things. To refine this tower a little further, get a little higher with it, because I think I've already traversed to the top here. This is the top point, and I think for the top point, it's far from the top. So there's a lot of progress to be made. I added fall damage. Not a significant amount, just enough where, you take some fall damage as you're going down. And it's strictly to introduce it to the game mechanics so that I can tweak it as I go. The player is 1,000 health. I think the most he's taken in damage is like 50 on a fall. And we're talking like a big loop-de-loop, sending him into the sky, crashing down, and, but the whole point last time was to introduce like health and health mechanics, at least for right now. The water, in this case, because this is going to be a tutorial level, the water is really much more intended to be like the safety net. So let's say you're all the way up here and you take a fall. At least there's water here that when you land in it, you're not going to take damage. When you land anywhere here from up there, you're going to take some fall damage. So that's one thing. The other thing is the Tony Hawk of it all. We can't forget the Tony Hawk of it all. Why is this so complicated? Where's my fucking rail? Where's my fucking rail? I'm very confused. Alright, there's supposed to be a rail over here. Itchy. Alright, come on. Oh, for the love of God! Oh, God. Platforms, where's my vine tower? Cool. Oh my God. Alright, I don't know why I'm just not good at 3D spaces. That's a skill that I have to develop. There we go. This thing. Why is it called? So why did it call it real? Dumb. Okay. Anyway, this is a rail. And we're definitely going to add this. We're going to have Tony Hawk, Pro Skater, Tarzan. One of the aspects will certainly be that you can do vine riding, like Tarzan. So you see a log or you see a thick woven branch of that could be enemies too, other enemies that are riding on it that you have to kind of maneuver and dodge. I keep thinking about monkeys throwing coconuts and like monkeys attacking with like banana peels and shit, but like maybe with rocks. Projectiles, monkeys with projectiles. So anyway, I was refining this rail so that when the player jumps, they automatically land and slide, and they can move backwards and forwards. Thank you, Fortnite, because that's a lot of where that came from. Although, Infamous, I guess you could do, like, power line riding. Either way, it's very Tony Hawk inspired, or Extreme Sport inspired, and we're going to do something about making that work. So, first test run for today. Same stuff, nothing new. It doesn't say what up noob anymore. It changes to Vitality 1000. So we're going to do the first run. Keep it classic. Everything's looking cool. We're going to climb. Climb stutter doesn't look terrible. The only thing I think I'm missing is making sure that that right hand properly grabs onto the vine stash. Or vine... I would say stash. Vine group. I can descend, which is great. And I have this platform that's one of the 3 current platforms with 2 more to do. Pass through platform. And I have a portal, a reset, like end of the game portal, I guess. Yeah, I guess you would call it like an end of the game portal. And what else? So you go through it, you reset, back to the beginning, and then this player has a run, which is kind of a silly run. I think I need to get the run a little, like change my animation to a more primal looking run, which I think Mixamo has. This is the rail. I don't know if it's working. The rail is kind of working. Yeah, I don't think it's not holding. Either way, I think it should have a collider on it. I don't think that's the issue, unfortunately. Yeah, it does. Cooking options, physics collider. This is just bouncy. Oh! That's probably how I could solve it. I can make a material, a physics material, to attach to the mesh collider, and that would create a surface that would be slidey, but also lock you in somehow. Which, now I want to... I keep passing through. Hey, new day. I do like to tell the robots what day it is. New day. Following up on the rail bit. Where are my tokens at? Oh. Alright. I'm following up on my rail bit. Rail physics. Can we build a material to attach to the rail so that it is slidey and locks the player in when they make contact and lets the player slide back and forth. Right, slide back and forth, jump, and automatically... This is the magic part. And automatically, say, grip the rail with their feet. And this is tricky because it's like, it's not feet. It's a video game and you're building it, so it's a collider. It's like the bottom of the collider. Slash bottom of the player collider. I realized maybe it could be resolved as a material development. Like we have our... I don't know if the pass-through has an actual... I don't think the pass-through has an actual different material on it. I'll have to double check that. Like we have our bounty pad. Physics. Material. Okay. So I'm going to make this longer so I can test it. And Gonna return to the lore part to kind of talk about that. 15. That seems long enough. And maybe I'm right, hopefully, about making the physics material to make that work. That's a clever realization. It doesn't have brains to lock the player's position. Activates based on the surface you touch. This makes it feel like a physical property of the world rather than a scripted sequence. To get that, quote, skater feel, contact, catch, lock in, slide, jump, we need a physics material, define what the line is, and a logic update. Okay. I really hope this doesn't fuck up swing or CS. Swing control CS. Alright. Running out of coffee is just my worst feeling. I need coffee. Fuck. Every time. Love this stuff. Whoever invented beans is a genius. These beans are rocking. Ooh, so good. Alright. Well, let's see. Fascinating. Alright, so we're gonna make sure this doesn't screw everything up. Which it might not. And we have to build a couple others. So we're going to create a material component. That's fine. Put that there. Assets. Create. I'm just going to do it in materials. Excuse me. Create physics material. Wait. Damn it! Swing controller I did, but I need to make a new physics material. I think I just made an unnecessary one. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Physics material. Couldn't find it. Okay. We're calling it PM Railgrind. Static friction. I'm going to set that to 0, dynamic friction to 0, and friction combine to minimum. Okay. Okay. Create a thick cylinder. Apply the PM rail grind to the collider. Okay, so cylinder. Wait, I don't need the capsule collider. Let's remove that. And PM rail grind. Interesting. I don't know where I put that other physics material. Maybe I dropped it just sitting in assets. I did. Yeah, there it is. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to make a new folder for that. We're going to add PM Railbright. Fuck. Spectre. Yes, okay, this is right. Wait a minute, whoa. To the cylinder's collider. Oh, duh. That's what I was trying to do the whole time. Okay. Slide vine CS component. I already have that. Oh. Oh, it's right there. Duh. Let me get rid of this. Redoing it. Just making sure I'm doing it right. Right, and they are the child. Okay. One end, the other end. Cool. Catch. If you are falling or jumping, your collider touches the slide vine trigger. You automatically snap to the rail. No buttons required. Like back and forth to accelerate along the line. Rail snap speed knob in the inspector. Rail snap speed. Ugh. No. Oh. I don't see a rail snap speed knob. I don't see that. I don't know how the strafing is going to help, but we'll see. Let's see. Okay. I don't see this. Okay. So let's give this a go. Try that rail again. And then once we get the rail working... Oh, and also damage looks like this. This is how much damage you can take. Oof. That was 7. 7's not terrible. This run is bothering me sometimes. It's not my favorite run. Alright. Can I do the thing? Nope. Oh, it crashed. Alright. It crashed when I... It carshed. Standarsh. It crashed when I tried to jump on it a second time. The player keeps passing through it, not landing on it. Here is also the... Wait. I also have a console error for the crash. And we'll check the code out now. Okay. Select Zach Braff. Fascinating. Okay. Okay. Are not in the vine object. They're on the player Zach Braff. Damn it! Did not know that. How am I supposed to know Zach Braff is holding the key to everything? Survival tuning? Friction and climbing? Oh my god. All of this stuff is built into one guy. Which I guess makes sense. Okay. Where to find it? Inspector. Rail grinding, skater vibe. I see it. Did the code compile? If you don't see that header on your player, okay, find foot offset on rail. 1.5, 1.3. Let's do 2. That's an option? Okay. Before I send my error, because my error makes sense, regardless, I think, to send, I just need to know. Crashed. Okay. You probably need to assign an endpoint variable in the slidevine script in the inspector. But I can guarantee I've already done that. And I need to get rid of rig builder if I'm not using rig builder. Holy shit. That goes the same for mesh renderer, I guess? Yeah. Remove component. Okay. Where was I here? Let me put this here. Survival tuning is in waterfall. Okay. Intensity, let's say 35. Climb speed we'll set to 2 for now. But the crash is still happening. So let me try one more time. Oh, I set those. Let me just say. Yes, sorry, I didn't realize it was in the... What was it in? It was in the player setting. Player components. I found it, and yet... Perfect. Coffee forever. Coffee for life. Sorry to drink coffee like that. I just love coffee that much. It's like a big kiss to coffee. I love you, coffee. Alright. Let me quickly go back here and see what we had from Claude about the Untitled Jungle Nurse game. Fascinating premise with a lot of potential for compelling gameplay and narrative exploration. Let's dive into some key areas and discuss how we can align the story with the development roadmap. The player's only acquired abilities such as long jumps align well with the... Yeah. Consider how these abilities progressively introduced and mastered throughout the game with the level design offering. That's the goal. Yes. The vast multi-biome jungle setting lends itself to exploration. Consider incorporating... Yes. The collectibles thing, I think it's fun. I'm just not necessarily interested in... I don't know. I guess that's... I play games differently. I don't love collecting. I just started playing Arc Raiders, and I quickly realized how quickly I'm just going to be a hoarder and not build things and just keep going out there and collecting random nonsense. That's fun, but I don't know. For this kind of game, maybe a relic or something you have to collect along the way. That might make more sense. Glimpses into the world's lore and ongoing conflict between the Council and the Grand Deceivers. CVGD. Other potential allies and adversaries provide opportunity. Right. Consider how these interactions can be integrated into the gameplay, such as dialogue choices and influence. Sure, but maybe not. Co-op segments. I do like that, the co-op gameplay. Like, Tarzan wasn't just a hero, he integrated himself into the animal communities he took part of. So it would be cool to see him, or this character, basically, oh, we need... You are the extra set of hands we need. Just for this thing. We've been trying to access water, or that's a good one. Wow. Like, a set of animals that maybe... I keep thinking like these battles between different animal factions, but it's kind of like just going to be parallels from the real world. So it's like water being cut off from certain animals in the forest, and because it's being cut off, you know, this human has to go and figure out how to open that water up. And that can lead to other things. But that's, okay, yeah. Working with animals is part of it. It's not just the character being the main character. It's like the other animals are going to help, or at least instruct and be like, this is how we do it. And the player will have to be innovative in creating new ways how to do that from there. Various challenges, consider implementing skill progression system-wise. The skill progression probably makes sense. Alright, we'll come back to thematic coherence. Eventually, at least. Alright. That error is a handshake between your player falling through the row because empty slots in the script. Did I still leave it empty? Hierarchy. Pin start. Yeah, I did that. Oh, but I didn't assign them. That's stupid. Okay. Or I made a new slide vine CS. Okay. Start and end. I've updated both scripts with the safety guards. If you forget to assign a point, the game will no longer crash. Oh. Slide vine. Alright, let's open that up real quick. Slide vine. Ouch, my back. I really should be stretching. I have to stretch today. I have to stretch every day, but particularly today to recover my back. Just truncated some of my stuff. I hopefully didn't lose a lot out of that. Didn't reset my slide vine. Good. Everything looks fine. This thing is going to need to be plugged in. And I have neglected giving myself proper light today, which is stupid. That's what this is about. Uh-oh. There we go. That is a lot more helpful. Look a little more cinematic out here. Trying to make the bucks by looking nice. I don't know how much that really helps, but it does look marginally different. So anyway, that's the story there. That's the actual story that I have saved in Google Docs. Oh, my back. Cannot keep talking about my back, but for the love of God, my back. Can't believe that's dark. Okay, great. So, YouTube is doing me a disservice today, but TikTok's been giving back. Go figure. Just need to check some things here. Oh, wow. Okay. That's the best photo I've seen today. Okay. I'm supposed to be monitoring my stream and not browsing other stuff. Okay. So, that's in. Sticky Catch is finally solid. We're going to see how this works. Right? Right. So, save. Wait. Okay. I really want to fix that run. It's not like people don't run like that, but... Okay! Okay! Ah! Wait. The Q and the... Okay. So sometimes I fall through. I wonder if that's in console. Okay, yeah, sometimes I fall through, but... It kind of worked. I don't know what happened before. Can you gain momentum? Okay. This kind of works, and I think it's awesome. Looks terrible, but I think it's awesome. What has to happen? What is the secret sauce here? You have to leave it and then jump back in, right? That's the secret sauce, because as soon as you jump, you fall through. Then you leave it, but then you can jump back in. If you do it right. Okay. So it half works, and I think that material thing really did help. Okay, but maybe I'm wrong, because they told me it wasn't that. Okay. It no longer crashes. But, that's a weird sound. But, no longer crashes, and I do get to slide on it. You know what? Mixamo. Let's go. Making me log in public. How dare you? You have a lot of friggin' nerve, dude. Okay, can't announce everything out loud, like my password and my username. I like to read everything out loud. Alright. Dare I say it? Nope. Alright, I want to show what I'm doing here. I don't need to do a split, but that's cool that it automatically did it. Side slide. Mr. Boxing. I think maybe there's something like balance I should think about. The strafe looks okay. The dance looks awesome. The flying looks fucking cool. The strafe is close. Like, almost as close as I would get. Oh, this hanging and shimmy stuff I really do need to figure out. Weight shift. Nope. Cocky head turn, run, dodging. It can't be that complicated, but... Side. Let's try that. Side seems a little too broad, but I also think it could work. Let's see this.
Darka Video the original said, Saluti.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by. And coming back. I'm currently looking for a quick animation to swap in for my my character model here. So that my character model can slide on this rail and kind of look like they're sliding.
Darka Video the original said, I got a Coursera Plus subscription that came with 3 months of Gemini Pro.
That's a good deal. What are you learning? Or like what are you planning to learn? I wonder if there's any actual... This looks weird and creepy. Oh, I see what makes it creepy. But it's like against a wall. Maybe. make it look natural. I don't think I can get this one to do what I want it to do in place.
Dark a Video the original said, there are some game design course there.
Oh, nice. Okay. I wish the toes... What the hell? This is almost it. Because I'm thinking like a sidestep where you're moving and kind of on the rail or on the vine, you're kind of sliding. But you also have to keep moving. You can't just like rely on the rail to take you. At least visibly. But this boxing stuff is not what I need. Hit on the side of the body is pretty cool. The goalie sidestep might be fine. That's pretty cool. And are you doing Unity? I forgot. I'm so sorry. The character arm space. It doesn't look weird. It looks weird, I mean. Yeah, no, this isn't going to work. I don't need to focus on it today. But it is a thought to do. Or maybe figuring out how to rig it. It's weird. In place. Doesn't really work. The side strafe kind of works. The weight shift might work. I can't get him to like crouch. But now that I think about it, see if there's anything in this locomotion pack that might be worth checking out. Or it's part of everything else, I bet. Not gonna bother.
Dark a Video the original said, I haven't looked into the game design courses yet.
Oh.
I got the subscription for the Google-made courses in programming.
So I was actually looking into that in particular because they offer certification. And those certificates can help you land great jobs in the future, especially with the AI and automation and working with LLMs. It seems like they're good certificates. I have to invest in it, though. So have you signed up for the course? Or at least one of the first courses? I really wish there was something a little more strafey without punchy. And I feel like this is the kind of thing I can spend a week trying to animate myself. Oh. In place. Turn down the overdrive. Style.
Dark a Video the original said, indeed, all the courses provide a certification linkable to LinkedIn, whatever worth that has.
I think that education has all the worth. It doesn't matter what, like, sure, it's a certification. It
Stream
goes on
Elements
LinkedIn.
said,
You're gonna end
lurkers
up
welcome.
learning
Type
something,
lurk so I know you're
and
here,
you're gonna
high
be able
voltage
to talk
sign.
to somebody about
Goose.
it. And that certification, all that means is that they expect you to know what you're talking about if you bring that up. But I think that's important. Any opportunity to learn is a great important opportunity. But it's worth it. I mean, like, I took some AI courses and got a certificate from the new school, which is Parsons School of Art and Design. And I got that over the fall. And I learned some really good things about AI in media organizations, like corporate media organizations, and AI leadership, or leadership in creative management in these organizations. So what am I doing with it? Nothing yet. Will I do something with it? Yeah, at some point I will be able to utilize it even more. But right now, it's just something on LinkedIn. But I got to make a post and share it, and people that I work with got to see it. People that I know and that I've worked with in the past got to see it. It's what I do with it, I guess. So just a good opportunity to do anything like education is the way to go, is my opinion. Floating. I really don't have Side hip hop walk. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so confused what the focus is. Slide hip hop walk. Boom, 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 boom. Bring back the music. It's so funny. It's so weird. What is going on? Oh, look at that. Let's get it. That's funky as hell. You know what? This might be the best. This is too silly to me. Look at that. Can I lock it down to like just the first 10 frames? It's too funny. 5 frames. That's kind of... Would I need 9? Nope. That turns a little too much. Alright, let's go for 3. It doesn't loop nicely, as one can imagine. Oh, maybe that'll help. 4. The stance. The overdrive. That arm space I don't want to be like crazy, but I can't prevent that last. Although... Nope, just 2? Does it look weird? It's just 2? Looks kind of weird. I just don't like that weird arm step. Which means that maybe that would be better, dodging right. And I don't need the whole dodge, I just need literally... Nope, need a little more than that. Nope. Nope. It's gonna be a lot of nope. Action advised. Migrate Firebase Studio projects by 2027. You got it, boss. Alright, let's go check out a couple more before I stop, like, not wasting time, but should be focused on something else.
Darka Video the original said, "Are all those animations free?"
These animations seem to be free, but I also have a Adobe subscription. I've had an Adobe subscription for a decade at least. And sorry, this little hip thrust isn't doing it for me. I've had it since then, and sorry, I'm just trying to get a better idea of it. I have a pretty expansive subscription because I have an iPad. I do a lot of photography, and I've been doing it for years. So a long time ago, I decided what would be better than to have most of my library available on my iPad ready to go. So while Adobe recently increased their prices to like $60 a month, I was paying something like that already for like probably like 5 years now, so that I could have 2 terabytes of Adobe cloud storage, which is a waste of money today in 2026, and I really don't need to spend $70 on a 2 terabyte cloud subscription with Adobe. Nobody else really has that, and I'm saying not companies, like user base. Like, I have never met another person who pays for cloud storage like that through Adobe, and the advantage I get is because I pay for that, it covers everything. I have access to a lot of stuff like Mixamo, which I didn't know, but I think that free users, or at least some kind of subscribed users, probably have access to these for free. But like, my subscription gives me 4,000 credits to Adobe Firefly, which I don't need most of the time. I'm not using to make, but I have a lot of access. So how free, I don't know, but it's pretty free as long as you have an Adobe subscription. That's where I can start you off on.
Darka Video the original said, "My sister is a teacher, pays for cloud storage cause she wants to save all her emails and her inbox is full."
Is it Gmail? Because Google One, I think, is very affordable. But I think we all need to delete our emails. We don't need to hold on to every email.
Darka Video the original said, "Gmail, yeah."
Yeah, so I get it. I do. But Google One, I think $3 a month and you get a terabyte. And for emails, that'll hold probably the next decade of emails. But then again, it depends on how many attachments you're trying to save. Google Drive is attached to your Gmail, so those things fill up simultaneously. So if you're adding stuff to your Google Drive, it's going to increase your or decrease your available storage on your Gmail. At least my understanding is that. If this didn't look so unnatural. Oh, maybe that's what I'm missing. I'm only trimming it from one side. Turn down the overdrive. I think I can kind of cheat this. But I don't want it to be a step. Something like that. At least for now. Is there a particular course or a certificate you're going after? That's my next question on that. It is exciting to hear because I do have interest in doing it myself. And I do like hearing when people are doing things like that. Character arm space. Looks weirder. But it's gotta be something there. Mirror. Oh, just flipping it. Alright, let's just download that and see how that works. Non-uniform. Alright, and then we're going to get back to what we're doing here. Oh. Here we go. It no longer crashes. I do get to slide on it. But the player will fall through.
Stream Elements said, "Lurkers welcome. Type lurk so I know you're here. High voltage sign. Goose."
Allow the player to walk away and then it kind of resets. Otherwise, I have a new animation to add for the sliding. The back and forth movement on the rail feels a bit, what's the word? Feels a bit clunky, but it is working properly. What was I going to say? It kind of resets. Okay, let's send that through. Go back to Unity for a minute. Read what we have going on here. At least I provided the story, and I've worked with it to kind of keep things compartmentalized so that it's not developing the story for me, and it's giving me suggestions for how to keep things uniform. So right now it's the thematic coherence. The contrast between the untamed jungle and the player's desire to return to civilization is a central theme in the story, which is true. That's the whole point of the story. The player is crash landed, is healed, and offered or imbued abilities by mystical animal shamans, and they have to help the forest around them while they're traversing to go help the main village. When they get to the village, they fight the big bad that's been taking control of the village or something, because there's a resource there. I forgot what I wrote down. Oh no, there's a portal there, and that portal actually helps break out of that jungle kind of mystical situation into the real world. Then you learn that the big bad has basically utilized that portal because the human had come and shown, like, they're the ones that can access the portal. The big bad follows behind, leading to the next game. So anyway, so it is, yes. The further the player ventures into the jungle, the more alien and surreal the environment could become, emphasizing the otherworldly nature. Maybe. I think the whole aspect of it is otherworldly. I think this whole being separate part is going to be a reminder, because this is an all-natural kind of jungle as opposed to a sterilized environment that, you know, a nurse would be more used to. The idea of hierarchy and the player's role as a potential disruptor is another key theme. Consider how this theme can be explored through the various factions and characters the player encounters, each with their own agendas and beliefs about the natural order. That's a good point. Every character would be great. Like, other animals might believe or say, this is how we want things to function, and the player could basically be like, let's not get carried away here. You know, swarm of ants. Like, we do believe that the anteater should be removed from society, but they also live a peaceful existence, and there's a necessity to eat them. I don't know. That's kind of weird. But there's a movie called Hoppers that touches on that that I'm excited to watch. Okay. Empathy and heroism. Players' emphatic nature and potential for heroism is driving force behind their journey. Consider how this theme can be reinforced through the interactions with other characters, both allies and adversaries. The player's decisions to help or hinder others could have tangible effects on the world and its inhabitants, ultimately shaping the narrative's outcome. I do see a world in which some of the actions taken or directed to the player to take end up leading to negative impacts in the environment, which I don't know if I want to make that flexible, like you can avoid it. I want it to be something where decisions are being influenced on the player because the player is vulnerable to the environment. So the player will always think they're making the right choice, but occasionally they make the wrong choice because their directive leads to a negative outcome. And maybe that's a change in the plot as you move along. It's like, wait, you're going to reconsider who's helping me do what and what we're trying to do. That's just a concept I'm kind of brainstorming as I'm going and reading through my updated roadmap tracker. So here we are at alignment. Before I do this, let's go back to Unity, or excuse me, AI Studio. Conflict thinks you're grounded while the rail shuts off the slide logic, making you fall through a reset. Pro Skater Overhaul. Alright, so we're going to swap out swing controller. Once you catch a rail, you stay on it until you jump or reach the end. The trigger exiting early won't knock you off anymore. Replace force-based movement with the rail velocity calculation for a precise locked-in feel. Added is grinding bool and grind speed float to drive your new animation. That's going to be great. Okay. Raycast filter. Ground detection now ignores the rail, preventing that flicker that makes you fall through. Interesting. Okay, so let's work on this animation real quick, because I do have a new animation I downloaded. Oh, and I'll fix that. Is that a parameter? It's a bool. And I believe it is grinding. Is grinding. Nope, is grinding. And we're going to add a float parameter called grind speed. Create a transition from locomotive to your grind animation. Oh, I need grind animation. We're gonna call it grind. Vine grind. Vine grind. Just vine grind. I want it to be vine grind. Vine grind. Okay. So we'll have the loop here, the fall loop. We're gonna have locomotion go and create a transition. Condition grinding is true. Is grounded, is grabbing, is grinding, is true. Inside of the grind state, use your grind speed to make your skater look more intense as they move faster. Okay. Tuning tip. In the inspector or swing controller, set the rail layer to the layer. If you haven't made the layer yet, you can leave it. Okay. I need to assign the new grind animation, so let me quickly do that in Finder. Nope, those are videos. Would be helpful to... God, where did I put a pasture? Pasture makes the most sense. Vibe coding. Tarzan Man. Ah, that's just videos. Fuck. Alright, let me find these FBX files. Hold on. Alright, there we go. Forgot I have to put it in animations. Oof. Okay. Close call. Go to animations, should be there. Perfect. We're gonna rename this. Oh, can I rename this? I want to rename this. Let's call it strafe slash vine slide. Vine grind. Okay. Hopefully that'll work. So we'll go here, save that, and I'll update it in a minute. But we're gonna put, whoops, sign that here. Perfect. Okay. I do need to edit this animation, right? Generic, now humanoid. Create from this model, copy from other avatar. We know which one we're taking. This one. And I think that's everything. Huh. No model is available for preview. Oh, apply. There we go. Okay. I think I can slow it down, maybe. Not exactly sure what I can do here, to be honest. But I will figure it out.
Jasper Hunt said, hi.
Hey. What's going on, Jasper? Hope you're doing well. It is Thursday. I was going to say Wednesday.
Jasper Hunt said, have you ever heard of Zombies Ate My Friends?
Zombies Ate My Friends. No, I've never heard of that. That's a game, I'm assuming. Here, let me actually do a quick look. Ate My Neighbors? Oh, no, wait. No. Oh, this is a song? No, it's not a song. It's a game. There we go.
Jasper Hunt said, it used to exist back in 2012s.
I've never heard of it. I don't think so, at least. I don't think I ever played it. I'm just taking a quick look because I have to get back. That looks cool. A little wild. No, you used to play it though? Where's Unity? Okay. Oh, right. I need to make a transition back to locomotion where I disable it. Is grinding is false. At least I think I needed to do that. Alright, we're going to save this. Xcode. I really don't want to keep having my Finder window down there. There we go. Okay. I have a hazard zone thing that I haven't developed, and hopefully I can get to that today. And I do need to take a break in a little while, just for a minute. Alright. I will give it a shot. I didn't assign the float parameter. It didn't tell me to. Oh, it did. Wait. Alright. I'm not going to bother with grind speed yet.
At Jasperhood said, if you want to hear the OST, go ahead. My favorite one is the safe house.
My only concern is copyright, I guess. But I will check it out. I did see the OST was available. But you used to play it, I'm assuming. OST. Oh, did I fix that? I guess I kind of did. I just switched it to desktop audio, but... Alright, I'll do... Zombies Ate My Neighbors seemed to came out before Zombies Ate My Friends. Zombies Ate My Neighbors was an SNES game.
At Jasperhood said, I don't think it's copyrighted because how old it is.
Well, Zombies Ate My Neighbors probably is fine. Zombies Ate My Friends is not that old. The 2010s are pretty recent. I just found it. It was
at Jasperhood said, okay. No, I didn't. I just found it out, and it was thought it was really cool and it should be talked about more.
Imagine being a developer for that game. The inspiration to hear like, oh wow, that would be great. Please like explore the game more. Let's see. Gonna try to pull it up in game extended. Okay, so wait, main theme, instrumental cover. I'll do this. Pause that.
I listed this on eBay in like 2 seconds
eBay.
and got a really good price.
Find what you love, sell what you don't.
Goodbye.
All right, here we go.
Friends,
That's not it.
for too long we've made things hard on ourselves. Enough is enough.
It's a silly ad. Here we go. This is for you, Jasper. And your promo needs. Good for you. It's catchy. We're gonna test this out soon. Just need to turn myself on. There we go. Turn this just a touch down. I think that's fine. Okay. It's not that long, so it's pretty catchy too. It's cool, right?
At Jasperhood said, nice. At Jasperhood said, wait a minute, this is not the official one.
I did not know this is not the official one. Bear with me. I will try to find... this might be a cover, you're right. I think I did type... not type, but I selected the cover one.
At Jasperhood said, this is just a remaster version.
Yeah. I guess it's this? Oh no, it's just... oh, there we go. This is a minute long. With ads? No ads. Sounds like this. Oh, cool. Okay. Let's go. I'm gonna exit it maximum for now. This, but let me double check what this project is called. doesn't have any. Okay, we're gonna close this for now. It's pretty cool. I've never played it, but this is catchy.
Atchesperha said, there it is.
I wonder if I'll get flagged for this. But it's not even like... I shouldn't play it because it's a loop. But it's Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Not sound effects, just OST. How many times can I hear "Can I take you for a ride"? Marvel vs. Capcom 2. New Age of Heroes. I hope we get copyright strikes for this. Ba-da-da-da-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-doo. Say the words.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2. New Age of Heroes.
Love that game so much. I should be streaming it, but there's too much commitment to that. Just way too much commitment. It's a very big game. Alright, I really don't need to do I don't need to do this. But thank you for introducing me to that other theme. I'm gonna play it again for you. At the risk of everything. Twitch bots, TikTok bots, come and get me. Oh. TikTok disabled me for inactivity. Fucking TikTok, man. Inactivity. I haven't even gone on a break. Going live again. Screw you, TikTok. Try that again. Okay, back to Unity. Save that down. Are we not? Wait. That should fix it. Opening grind animation. Let me fix that real quick. Click multiplier. Check parameter for motion speed. Oh. Grind speed. Okay. So that means like... I guess that's fine either way. Okay. Let's give it a shot. This seems to be also from the game. Oh, in-game extended. Yeah, I'll do this for a little bit. It's kind of catchy. I need to turn it down so it's not too loud in my ear. I was going to say I need more coffee, but I can't always need more coffee. Zombies ate my friends.
Atchesperha said, zombies at my friends. Atchesperha said, there's 2 other soundtracks you haven't heard of yet.
Oh yeah, which, oh, sorry. Not to yell. Top of my lungs there. What are some other soundtracks you suggest I check out? Because I can definitely throw it on while I'm doing this. Time to grind, people. Cool. Okay, so when we're on here...
Atchesperha said, battle theme and safe house.
Battle theme and safe house. Oh, I think this is the battle theme, but extended. Oh, no, this is in-game action, so let's see. Here we go. Safe house. Let's go. It's pretty cool. This guy doesn't own it, Discoon, but he'll get a thumbs up. Okay. So, sliding on the rail works. I believe that's the correct animation. We'll just have it for there for now. Just jump, make sure. Jump, make sure we can catch it. Nope. Didn't catch it that time. Why are we not catching it? why that didn't catch it. God, I'm coming up on 2 hours, and it's going to be 3 o'clock soon. Okay, so we're almost there in terms of getting that right. Mostly works. I think the new animation.
At Jasperhood said, well, you already heard battle theme.
The other one is Safe House. Oh, wait. This is battle theme, I think. The other one is Safe House. This is Safe House, sorry.
Overburdened teams. You're ahead with SAP Concur.
TikTok is just the worst. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see.
At Jasperhood said, one of my favorite ones.
Let's see. Yeah, let's do in-game action. The extended version. And then let me fix this. Instead of saying I want a jumping animation, let me assign a jumping animation. Right, so... make a transition. Jump. Has exit time. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. Oh. Gonna need to turn this down, sorry. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. I'm gonna assign another animation transition back here. So, jump, right? Okay, and then jump. And I think that means when I'm grinding and I jump, I do a jump. My vine grind animation. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Maybe one day I'll stream that game. I did see it was available online, because it's not necessarily always available like it used to be. But I'll check it out. What kind of games have you played recently, Jasper? I still seem to fall through. Fine. Real. Sometimes. Why would that be? Okay. TikTok, I'm going to abandon TikTok. Because it's just whack. But for gaming, it was doing pretty well last night. So, who knows? But goodbye, TikTok. I'll see you next time. I should take a break. It would be wise of me to take a break. TikTok doesn't want to end. I don't know why it does that. Alright. We're going to ditch TikTok. See how this works over here. Dishwasher is clean, hopefully. Had to run a little cleaning mode with it. The falling through happens because of a high-speed physics conflict. Your player's downward velocity from the jump is sometimes so high it pushes the collider past the trigger's detection before the script can magnetize you. Additionally, if your is-grounded script raycast hits the rail, it mistakenly thinks you are standing on solid ground and shuts off the grinding math. Pro Skater Stabilizer. We now zero out your wire. Okay. That might work. We're now using a layer specific. What is going on with this? It's kind of odd that this is stuck there. Set your real object to new. You must set your rail object to a cylinder? To new. Alright. Don't want to do that. Grand lock once you're writing. Okay. Go to the top, add layer. Wait, what? Unity editor. Where the fuck is that? Top right of the Unity editor. Layers. Wait. There we go. Look at that. Learning as I go. Just trying to be intuitive. That was a little tough. I'm gonna bring back the soft music in the background. Jasper, if you're still here, please subscribe. Tell people you know. It's good to have you. It's good to have everybody. Anybody who's here. Dark Ovidu. Oh, God. I hope I don't fuck this up. Dark Ovidio. Ovidio. Thanks for still being here if you're still here. Seems like you might be. If not, thanks to everybody who is. It's always appreciated. Alright, we're going to make the layer called rail. I don't want that. I want that. Rail. Click your slide vine. And we're going to give that the rail layer. The final brain. Let's update this real quick. Change children. Yep. Fudge. Accidentally copying and pasting there. Save that. Why it's now sticky. Or why it's in the player inspector. Oh, okay. That's going to be the last thing I have to do, I guess. Zach Braff. Wait. Is it here? No. I don't know what rail layer is. That was my belly making coffee sounds. Rail layer. There we go. Rail. Magic, right? Well, let's see how magical this looks. Strafing is back. Look at that side. Jumping is still good. Everything's still looking nice. Locked into the rail. Slide seems to be working. Can jump on the rail. Not going through the rail. That's kind of cool. Okay, it's not perfect, but we have a rail that you can slide on. My animation needs to be fixed. But it's true, and grounded is true, and then maybe this is what I'm messing up. When is grounded is false. I'm gonna fix that animation, maybe. Or I just messed it up more, I don't know. Can't seem to figure that out. Let me just delete those. Try one more time. It should just be the basic animation I've selected. No, it's the falling animation. But maybe it's because this reset. No, it did not reset. Okay. I mean, it's working better. So I like that. Yes, it is working better. Can you help me resolve the animation issue? Right now it loops the jump animation when I am on the rail. Vine. sliding vine. Let's call it sliding vine. Otherwise, this is big progress. Thanks. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak maybe a value. See if that helps me a little bit here. Let's do 0.1. Put foot offset on the rail. 0.1 seems to be the coolest direct contact kind of thing. Let's go. Oof. It's too low? Okay. 0.9. I guess 0.9. Oh, 99? 98? I mean, yeah, I think 0.97 even. 0.97. Very particular number, but I think that's going to make it look more natural. Let's... Okay. Animator C is here, still in the air. Grinding takes priority over falling. Here's a setup. Priority lane for grinding state, so it overrides the jump. Add the parameter. I did. I'm calling it Vine Grind. We're going to rename it to Grind. Just so I get it, how it's explaining it. Wait. And then it's almost 3 o'clock, which means I'm going to wrap up. I wanted to take a break, but I might as well just keep pushing forward and take a break by stopping. But right now, this is good progress. Okay, so create a train from any state to grind loop. Okay. Condition is grinding is true. And the exit transition. Wait, what? Oh, to fall loop. I don't know how that works. But okay. His grinding is false. Just make sure this is correct. Yep. Transition duration to 0.1. Unchecked. The exit transition, so let's go check this out. This grinding is false. Vertical velocity, do I have that? Oh, I do. It's great, it's less than 0. Optional, but feels better. Okay. Create a transition from grind loop to locomotion, which I do have. Oh, okay. Is grinding is false? Is grounded is true? Do I know what I'm doing? No. I've cleaned up the update animations. Alright, swing controller. Let's see how this works. Hate when it truncates, but what do I know about coding at that scale, at that speed? That looks even better. Holy shit. That just looks good. For the jump, I mean, the jumping running is tweakable, but here we go. Ah, haha. Okay. All right. Amazing. Fantastic. Can we alter the starting position of the player when they attach to the rail so it looks more natural, meaning they are directionally perpendicular to the rail vine, like an inline skater or skateboarder, where it looks right now a little odd to be front facing when the player slides. Also, let's add a knob, even though it's weird to call it a knob, just a component, or at least a tweak for the component, to increase friction. It should be a wide range. Okay. What I want to do is make that rail longer. I've only made it longer 25 times so far. And here we go again. The rail is long and uncertain. And yet we prevail. For we do it for the rail. There it is. Almost. It looks so cool when I jump, though. Can't turn on it, but you can turn when you're landing on it. What I'm going to fix is the animation of jumping when I'm jumping on the rail, I guess. I mean, it looks mostly fine. I don't like the forward-backwards motion of it all. It kind of is weird the way it swings around. But maybe if I have a real slide position, it'll feel more natural. Let me decrease my vitality for a second here. Here we go. That should take some fall damage. Big ouch? Big ouch. That's 500 damage, wow. That's the most I've taken in one go. Alright, well. Oh, I did increase the multiplier on that. Slide friction, I can definitely change that number without being a pain in the ass. 5. I think the friction number would need to be lower then. 0.2? No. 200. I don't think that's a realistic number that would work. Okay. Let's change this. It's a great stylistic pivot. Moving from a zipline to a broader perpendicular orientation levels up the visual weight of the traversal. Skate surf stance. Wide range friction knob. Sure. Okay. It's gonna be 3 o'clock. Just another day. Okay. Okay. Great. Except I don't want the whole thing to turn. Friction logic, right? So let me go back here. Stop this. Go to Zach Braff. Point 1. We're going to try that again. That's a lot better. We just need to make sure that the camera... Fantastic. Okay. Fantastic. We need the camera to stay forward as opposed to turning with the player when they get on the rail. Essentially, the third person view of the grind. I also want to make that when the direction is changed, the player rotates in the opposite direction. Doing a 180. Turn. Okay, let's see how that... Turning. Okay, let's see how that works. And because we're coming up on 3, I gotta wrap it up soon. The coffee. I love the coffee. I love you, coffee. God, do I love you so much. So, today we did a lot of the grinding. I was supposed to work on some other things, but I got kind of caught up in the grinding part. Do I hate that? No, I hate this mic feedback. That happens occasionally. Anyway, my jumping animation needs to return proper, but it looks good for the most part. When you land on a vine, let's make this wider. Let's make this wider. 1. Yeah, that's fine with me. I think I did that right. That's much better. It looks cool. That looks cool. Okay. And let's make sure that animation state is appropriate. Do I know what I'm doing? No. Do I think I know what I'm doing? Yes. Loop time. Yeah, that's not a great loop match. I don't know what to say. Maybe that's what I was missing. Adding loop time to the situation. That's it. Adding the loop time makes it look more natural. Cool. Cool. Okay. Let's stop this, save it, see what our update is, and then I think I'm going to wrap it up. generic character rotation. Context-aware stance. I've rewritten the rotation math specifically for the broader stance. Immediately flip. So now grind sideways. Says look down the rail wherever you're facing rather. Okay. I like that. That's what I'm hoping for. No compiler errors. No errors. If this works, I'm going to be quite happy. And I'm going to call it. But I think it's going to fucking work. Nope. Okay. Almost. Almost. The friction doesn't make a huge difference. But more importantly, the camera remains stuck behind the player when on the rail. It does flip when changing direction, but it still is not facing down the rail properly when the player is on it. Alright, that should be the final fix. If it gets this, I think I'm good to go. What I do need to adjust is this player friction thing. I already had it at the lowest freaking number. Grind move speed, reps. That should be 50. I don't know why it wouldn't. Alright, let's see what it's got to offer before I get out of here. Because I gotta get out of here. The real truth is I have to go to the bathroom. That's why I should have taken a break in the middle of my 2 coffees. But rather than subject people to that part of the day, I'll just do what I'm doing. When you touch the rail, the code checks the rail's direction. Oh, wait. Director's cut of the camera. Trying to snap by, which is now sideways. Previous mask, too weak. Feel anything but ice. I want it to feel more like ice. Not that kind of ice. Alright. Buff the friction knob. I really don't want to buff the friction knob. I'll leave that there the way it is. If you touch the rail, checks the rail's. If it aligns with rail yaw to look forward. Camia. That's because it's not. Okay. Cowabunga? Nope. Nope. Didn't quite fix it yet. No. Okay. Didn't fix the camera issue. And I seem to need to hold S to change direction, but when I let go, it springs back. It was feeling more natural before. I also want the friction to be lessened so it is more slick. I have it set to 0.05. I feel like it could be more slidey. Anyway, let's lock in this camera thing specific to the rails. The slide vine rails, we're gonna call that. I'm also working on making daily videos about the work I'm doing, but that's also a lot of work, and I don't really want to do cutting videos all the time, and that's part of doing this whole content creating stuff. So It can be weird. But you do what you can. Alright. Almost there for today. Tired, but feeling nice. Feeling productive. Feeling successful. Gotta work on it on my off time. And I have some ideas for what I'm going to do on my off time. Finish out that story Bible. Start planning out some of the other elements of the story, like real characters, maybe not names, but selecting the animals that are going to kind of fit each faction and building that out is going to be interesting. But I have to do that on my off time. I can't do that on stream necessarily, because what I'm learning is during this process, it's more interesting to come back with, hey, I did this since the last time I was here, as opposed to let's just do every step live on the stream, which is kind of like when you used to watch an old cooking show. They wouldn't be like, now let's wait 40 minutes for the roast. It's like, we have a done roast ready to go to show you. And that's how they prepared. So I'm going to try to start doing stuff like that, if I can figure it out. But see how this looks. Okay, wait. AAA skate feel. Grind specific. As a game state, the reason the character is bringing back is that we're... Forgot to exit my, yeah. Let me look at Unity, or Claude for a second. Core mechanics with the core traversal mechanics in place. They're not, that's the thing. I'm still working on the core traversals, and I'm building the assets as I go. Integration of narrative with the art and audio teams. That's me. I'm all of them. But this is good to know. The otherworldly nature of alternate dimensions should be. It should feel a little more mystical. Pacing progression. Consider how story's pacing. Manage break down the narrative into key chapters or milestone. Learn these with development of specific gameplay features, assets, or environments. Regularly assess the scope and complexity of each story to ensure that. Oh, thanks. Let's try this again. No errors. Cool. If this camera thing works, we're done. That's basically what I'm making sure everything is working properly. But right now it looks pretty good, not gonna lie. No. It's stuck in that state. I mean, and then let me tweak this. I forgot that that was there. Behind the player. When they land on the vine rail, we need to ensure that as soon as the the camera stays forward as soon as the player interacts with the slide vine rail. focused based on the direction of the grind. How can we ensure this without breaking the rest of the functionality? I think that's as far as I'm going to make it today, as soon as I figure that part out, which I can hope I'll figure out in the next couple minutes. Because I think I just need to call it. But this has been a really good session. It's been nice having people around. I did some thank yous before, but I'm still very grateful. And I really am excited to make sure this rail works. It's like, if anything, that's huge progress, is knowing that the rail is slidey. And so as it remains slidey, I will attempt to keep doing stuff with it. Yes, build my code, please. The issue is can't come by the rotation to fix this. We're grinding. We're going to decouple. That's what I want. That's what I want. Let's see if this does it. A couple extra lines of code. Nope. No. No, it stays attached to the player. Is there any way to reassign the camera when the player lands on the rail? I gotta keep calling it fine rail. I chose stuff to defrost today, and there's still some time. Oh. But it's making good progress, thank God. This is done. Right. I'm not done streaming, but my brain was like, let's just start doing other shit. Wow. That's gross and filthy, and I'm really glad I wiped that. Should probably do a better job wiping that. Oh, disgusting. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it. My brain was like, let me get into little maintenance mode. Boy, do I regret doing what I just did, because that was filthy. But it also is a reminder of regular upkeep. Some of our appliances, huh? That is disgusting. Oh, gross. I did not know that was all there. Alright. Well, I want to fix this before I get caught up doing fucking home maintenance before my job today. Okay. Interesting. State switch, okay. Okay. I think that state switch is going to be what fixes it. But before I try it, let me stop. My back is killing me again. Fucking fuck. Let's see how this works. I'm so excited for this to work. Let's get some more Zeus music going. Be a fool not to. Come on, work. You crazy son of a bitch. Didn't do it. Friction seems low. Nope, that doesn't do it. Do I need to change anything? Still staying behind the player. I really just want to get this done. That's why I'm here the extra 22 minutes. Fuck. I have dishes to do, chores to do. Like half chores I have to finish. I really hope this works. So close, though. Like, the fact that this character can now ride on a rail makes me very curious about, now that I think about it, being able to ride up. Huh. I'm gonna break my brain here for a second. Nope. Oh. Let's do 91. Let's see how that goes. I just want to see sliding up. And if the gravity affects it at all. It is sliding up, okay. Okay. This need for a bathroom is going really bad now. Please fucking work is my hope. Just fucking work. Fuck you! Slidey isn't even working with friction. Wait, no. $25. That whisper, tell your friends, is funny. It's not doing it. No, it is still staying to attached to the player. Cool. Well, that's not as cool. I'm sending over my inspector info for player, and then alright, I'm just gonna take a break at this point because I want to keep working and I'm gonna have to keep doing stuff, so I'll be right back.
Every task is a test, and you don't fucking rest till it's working. Or close as it gets. You tweak it, you break it, you build it again. That's the rhythm you're motherfucking living in. Shove and kill.
Yeah, 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 I overdose. Yeah, I wouldn't lose mad goals. Every task is a test, and you don't really rest until it's working or as close as it gets. It must mean one thing, that it's time for Zeus Magoo's. All the things you can do, and the thoughts you produce when you're thinking like Zeus. When we're thinking like Zeus, now you're thinking like Zeus. Zeus. Now you're thinking like Zeus. 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 Yeah, yeah. Zeus. Zeus. Zeus Magoo's, dead chance Zeus. Feels my goose. Every laws, every deuce. Have loud tables. I've been like a poop hole. Gamma breaking God Park. We've been talking Nate Dome. Zeus. 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 Starts NASCAR.
Every task is a test, and you don't fucking rest till it's working. Close as it gets. You tweak it, you break it, you build it again. That's the rhythm your motherfucking lived in. Shut up and dip. When the pressure gets loose and the room feels electric, you know exactly what time it is. The one, the only Zeus, my ghost. My ghost, Zeus, my ghost, Zeus, my ghost. All the motherfucking things you can do, all the wild fucking thoughts you produce. When you break out the cage and you burn through the fuse, you start thinking like Zeus, Zeus, my ghost, Zeus, my ghost. Tell your friends.
All right, we are back. Let me just change the music back to chill. That bathroom choice was the best choice I made today. Coffee was not, but that's okay. I'm having a good time. We're gonna get this sliding camera thing down, and then, like I said, I'm gonna sign off. But that's the goal, is to nail this. And if I can, we're done. If I can't, I'm still gonna have to be done. I'll fix it and then come back later. So let me attempt this one more time. Now it's saying attach to the player. Can we do that won't affect the other current from opposite of functionality with the C. Functionality. Maybe it would be a different script to consider. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all the available scripts I have that seem relevant, I guess. Swing controller. Vines. These don't. It's literally just swing controller, I bet. It's just swing controller. Never mind. Alright, we're going to see what we can do. And like I said a million times, we're going to call it because I'm tired. And I have real work, paid work to do at some point. And that paid work is a little more important than my non-paid work. So let's see how this goes. I also got to finish that project. That's a whole different thing. Now that I think about it, though, I can make an art map for that. That's a different project. Excuse me. I have like 3 projects I need to go revisit. It's only snapping while you're actively pushing a movement key. The moment let go. Okay, cool. Thank you. Did we fix it? Only swing controller will do. Excuse me. Ugh. Why do I have to do it like that, though? Where I set the camera locks. Snap back. Let's just do 20. It should just be 100, where it doesn't need to be like, er. Although maybe it does need to be like, er. No. Not working. Still facing forward with the camera when I land on the rail. What else can I do to fix this? I'm seeing that offset just a tweak above where I want it to be. Let's do 0.9. Looks more natural. That's too low. And 5. Wait. That's 9.6 is the closest. Can I set it to 0.001? If I can, then I can set it to 0.005. Can set that rail, go back to Gemini here. Close this up. It's a standard tug of war against the rail. Don't need that. It's not sliding. It's not doing enough sliding. Oh, that was weird. Okay. Let's see if that worked. And then I can go. I feel like I'm in my own prison. Like I'm not allowed to leave and do anything else until I sort this out. So hopefully I've sorted this out. No, you can actually select it, which is kind of the joke I had it clipped where I saved it into that safe item slot, but I cut it because it's a spoiler for the end of the video. Alright. Work! Fuck no! Didn't work. Wait. Stop again. Zach Braff. I mean... Do I need to change my... Camera transform. Didn't work. Do I need to change my camera transform? It still faces forward when I land on the rail. Forward direction. In regards to the player's front, and it is still not looking down the rail. I really want to get over this. This is like the big hump of the day right now. Although getting the rail to work properly at first was a bigger challenge. The sideways look is great. Basically, I want to be able to rotate the character without rotating the whole camera. And I don't know if I can figure that out, even though I've tried a million times over. And it's going to be like, yeah, you can fix this, and it'll change something, and I bet you it's going to fuck everything up. So, talking about the camera transform component I have here, which I don't think is visible. Yeah, most of my components are not immediately visible, so it's just part of it right now. Excuse me. Problem is that our camera system is built as a spring arm. It tries to position itself behind a specific direction, uses a look at command. Even though we tell the direction to change, the camera is still rotating around the player's sideways center. Hard override. While on the rail, we'll need to discard the player's rotation as a reference. That makes more sense. I don't know if that makes more sense to be longitudinal first, but when you are sliding, the home position for the camera is locked in the rail direction. Camera calculation to specific camera. Okay. I'm just gonna have to ignore that friction comment because the friction is not happening. Okay. Let's try this again. And then, let me open Unity. Make sure this looks proper. I always make the mistake of being in the play mode when I make these changes. Cool, bring that back over. I don't think it's going to work because I just was on a rail, and I think it crashed, but... Fuck! Come on. I mean, cameras. We're going to make that 200. 2,000 even. Does 2,000 do shit? Nope. 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 Okay. No, it still does not work like that. But it smells like cigarettes. Instead of saying it does not work like that. God, it's 3:30 already. I pushed my limit a little bit here. No, it still does not work like that. I need to figure out how the camera can decouple from the player during grinds. Or, what's the other thing? I had a different concept for how to approach it. Oh. Or can we just adjust the player rotation? The player rotation when it lands, but not affect the camera. It's like what we're doing already. It's like what we are trying to do, but a little tweaked. Also, can we find a way to lower the friction even more? Alright, I'm hitting my limit for the day. I have other things I want to do. I have other things to take care of. And all I want is for this character to not have the camera attached to them from behind when they jump on this rail. That's all. And then I hope I can figure out how to make it like a warpy rail. But this can't happen. Unless... I mean, it does that swing proper. I kind of have the idea here where it looks a little more natural, and as you're sliding, if you're not pressing forward, you'll just kind of forward or like stare in that middle state. And that could be helpful if you're going up a vine over some areas to get an aerial view or something, but I think it's a little ambitious right now. Let's see. Architecture pivot. Instead of trying to force the camera to ignore the player, we're going to do something much smarter used in professional games. Would love to start at these points rather than like, let's just haphazardly make this. We force the player's root transform to face exactly down the rail. That means the camera, which naturally sits behind the root, is automatically looking down the rail. Model turns sideways, we rotate 90 degrees locally. The camera, you are facing forward to the camera. The character is grinding sideways. It is one. Okay. Okay. Let's see if this worked. Because I would like to sign off, and I'm, like I said, keeping myself hostage right now. If I was my own boss, I would quit. I feel like, bro, we are well over half an hour of just doing the same thing. And that's why vibe coding is hard. Not because it's a challenge, but because it requires complex thinking and stringing thoughts together better, rather than, no, do it again, try harder. Don't make mistakes. Which is a lot of vibe coding. At least for me so far. A lot of don't make mistakes attitudes that I end up having. Alright. Important players, or important setup. Click your player. Find the new slot model child. Where are you? Wait. Model child. Drag the... Okay. Oh. I think it's chapters. I forget which one it is. I'm going to take a chance and say it's that, but I don't think it's that. Although that's all I really have, huh? Yep. Let's try that. The camera looks fine. Everything looks fine. Nothing's broken. Survey says. Okay. We're back to facing forward. But the... Alright. The friction sucks. Back to facing forward, which is fine. But the character needs to be rotated 90 degrees. And when on the rail without affecting the camera, and then flip when heading in the opposite sliding direction on the rail. And my friction sucks. Okay. By rotating only the character mesh, keeping the player roots straight. I'm so confused. And that's part of me doing this over and over again is being more and more confused as I do it. Check the model child assignment. I think I did it. I guess now that I think about it, model child. It's not working the way I want it to. There's no flip. Which rig should be in the model child slot? I think it's fine though, because I think it's supposed to be body. Oh, maybe it's non-PBR. That was it! Okay. I just assigned it to the wrong model. But that was it. And if it works, I can leave. It's gonna be 4 o'clock. Sick nasty. Sick nasty. Okay. I was assigning the wrong child model. Is this static? Almost staticky? No. Okay. I was assigning the wrong child model. Or model child. But I got it to work. Can we fully revise how the friction is working? Because I have it set to 0.005. And it slides very peacefully. I would expect a super duper slide in that case. Otherwise, we are looking good on the slide part, especially with the directional camera issue workaround. That's huge progress. The thing is, the camera's not turning. I guess that's the only thing I need to fix. So when I'm going backwards, I need to be able to I mean, that's cool though. What's the threshold on that? Okay, alright. Momentum preservation. Okay, it's a full drop in. The last thing it's saying here is the flip is probably the only last tweak. Strafing, backwards, forwards, side. We go for the jump. That's good friction. Cool. I want to adjust that friction, and I need to make sure that player, the thing turns when the does the 180 when the player turns. But I think we're pretty much there. Seeing if that decreases the friction by 80%. It did. Let's do 35. Cool, sliding's better. The turning's fine. I just need the camera to turn. Cool. Yeah, I just need the camera to turn. Okay. Yeah, but I had to set it to one last thing. Can we make sure the camera turns the player changes direction on the rail? That seems to be the only thing not working. We are facing the rail, facing down the rail fine. And what else? We're facing down the rail fine. And the character model turns. It turns on the rail to change direction. So far, so good. I just want to offer this last bit. Which offers no flexibility to go even lower. Okay. We basically fixed it. Coming up on 4 o'clock, I really gotta stop. 3-hour stream is fine. It's the middle of the day, so a lot of people have jobs and they're not coming here. And TikTok fucking blows for going live sometimes, because I don't even know what you have to do on TikTok anymore. You just have to do some crazy stuff to be cool over there, or considered, or whatever. Okay. There we go. Let's read through this. Okay. Recalibrated the friction map. Now in 0.1. Wait, we're going back to Zeus music for a minute here. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Coming up on 3 hours here. It's doing it. Okay. I mostly did it. I made a slidey rail. And so what we're going to do real quick This is pretty awesome. So wait. Alright, we're gonna try this upwards rail. I don't know if the momentum's gonna change anything. Mostly works. What it is a bit clunky on the turn and directional movement, but the core idea is locked in mostly for sliding on rails. For sliding on rails. Alright, we're gonna try this upward rail. I'm just happy. Just like, I think this is crazy that it worked. Into the water. Looks a little clunky, but alright. The water thing does work. Or as close as it gets. Wait. I think I figured it out. So instead of having W and D, or W and S change my direction, I need it to be left and right. Alright. See how this looks? It's basically done. I can let myself go. But there was something else I wanted to try. My brain forgot though. Oh right, the turning. Okay. Turning is okay. It's a little too smooth. Let's go back to the old version. No. I also don't want the turning to be dependent on the WS keys. I would rather it be the AD keys and they have a snap threshold for turning at the I hope I didn't fuck it all up, but coming up on 3 hours, I'm very happy with how this came out. And okay. Okay, just about done. Or as close as it gets. I gotta make new lyrics. I will shut up and deal. Let's give this a shot. I guess. It's kind of clunky. Okay. There's a weird camera tilt, but I need to call it at that. It has a weird sometimes. Let's revert the code a little bit. Oh wait, not to make it clean. A little bit. I want the AD turning to be slow to fast threshold cross on the turn, but you can infinitely turn in any direction. When you rotate the camera needs to lock into that rotation on the rail. I don't really know how to describe what else I'm doing here, but I'm gonna call it there. A full recap for today. Thanks. Juice Magoose to head out. You finally making an appearance, Sophie? Last minute? Come here, baby. Come here. That's a baby boy. I got dishes to do. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. How you doing? Yeah. Yeah, I know you don't. Yeah, you don't always want kisses. I'll give you all the kisses that I can, though. I give you 1,000,000 kisses. That's only the beginning. So many more to give you. Alright, alright. Alright, let's see if this fixed it. I don't know if that's gonna fix it. This turn slow acceleration thing, I think, is kind of fucking me. Sorry. It's a little too broad. It's gonna, yeah, break something. Yeah, Ophi? Yeah, baby girl, are you happy? And Twitch always breaks. Fuck. Don't know what's going on there sometimes. Oh, baby. Just like goop or slime, you just like... My apologies. During the refinement of the threshold turning, I accidentally trimmed variable declarations for strafing and me climbing for the header. Thanks. But don't do that. That acceleration I can kind of feel there. Okay. That's the last thing I need to fix. Okay. The grinding is mostly there. It's 4 o'clock. I gotta wrap it up. Let me just say this. The grinding is mostly there. Can we make sure once the player is rotated, it changes the W, the forward, the forward momentum in the new direction, locks the camera into that down the rail look on the new rotation. And what's the last part? Fuck, I had it. Changes. Oh, right. Player move forward based on their new direction. For instance, there is a need to hold S to move backwards when it doesn't, should revert to W. That will be all for today. Once we get it, let's redo the recap with where we started our planning through this completed task. Okay. I gotta call it. As much as I don't want to. I gotta go. Until next time, Zeus Magoose out. Ophi, baby, you're making a final appearance. Girlie, I love you. Okay. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. The million of people who came by, I really do appreciate it. It was really nice to talk to people and listen to an interesting soundtrack. I appreciate the support. It's always fun. It's good work to do. I'll be back maybe tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. It's Friday, but I think I'll be back tomorrow. So, catch you then.